The discovery of the therapeutic effects of REM brain activity was documented in 1989 by Francine Shapiro in her EMDR paper in the Journal of Traumatic Stress. Since then it has developed into the most effective way to treat trauma and has thousands of therapists worldwide. The discovery of the healing effects of bilateral stimulation of the brain cannot be overstated. It is a miraculous experience for many people. Although slow to catch on, it is recommended as treatment for traumatic stress by the American Psychiatric Association. In 2004, the Department of Veterans Affairs and Department of Defense, in 2009, and the International Society of Traumatic Stress Studies, in 2009. Those that have done research on REM sleep determine it is essential for mental health. The March 2017 issue of Time magazine quoted sleep researcher Dr. Micah Nadergaard. Sleep's primary evolutionary function is to clean out the brain, quite literally, of accumulating debris. It is like a dishwasher that keeps flushing through to wash the dirt away. Without that nightly wash cycle, dangerous toxins can damage healthy cells and interfere with their ability to coherently compose our thoughts and regulate our emotions. It is during REM brain activity that the toxic chemicals in traumatic emotions are dissolved in the brain. It is only during REM that all the various parts of the brain are in communication with each other. EMDR stimulates the brain into a REM state. For the first time in history, people can experience being awake and consciously direct their brain to visualize any trauma. The brain is much more able to process traumatic emotions when it is in a REM state. When dreaming or having a nightmare, the brain is attempting to heal itself, but its efforts are awkward and chaotic. While awake, a person can direct the brain and the healing effects are dramatically better. EMDR is an emotionally cathartic experience for most people, but the benefit of any EMDR session depends on the level of defensiveness of the client. The more the client is determined to not access the traumatic memories, or determined not to emote over these memories, the less benefit of an EMDR session. The most common coping mechanism in children is avoidance. This is healthy in children, but many continue using avoidance into adulthood. The biggest risk to anyone doing an EMDR session is largely dependent on the extent their emotions have been repressed. EMDR is an open invitation to these deeper emotions. If a person has repressed them, using avoidance their whole life, they can be overwhelmed by the experience. I had been a therapist for 30 years before I was introduced to EMDR. It was only natural to incorporate the elements of other therapies I was skilled at using. I had already been practiced at creating a safe space for clients when doing hypnosis or relaxation exercise. EMDR clients are asked to do this themselves, but some of my clients had never had a safe space. I knew from my working with Gestalt empty chair work that addressing oneself is often a powerful experience. So, to use this while a client was in a REM brain state was sure to be more powerful and more therapeutic. Using classical music that alternates the sound from one ear to the other, I combined elements of 6 therapies to create a program that was as healing as possible. I had always assumed that all clients needed a caring, empathetic therapist to be there for them when they are emoting. I thought it was this caring aspect that was at least part of what cured. Yet client after client reported that they did better work when they did it themselves at home. There was no self-consciousness. When a therapist is present, a client might cry, or emote for between 5 and 15 minutes, while many clients reported crying through the whole hour program. Many clients in outpatient therapy are being charged $80 to $200 per session. This puts EMDR therapy out of reach for the majority of sufferers of PTSD. Se-REM.com devotes itself to lessening the impact of trauma in the world. It strives to provide the most cost-effective self-help trauma treatment as close to free as possible. Se-REM is dedicated to increased compassion and empathy and improved mental health. You can purchase the download for the program for $19 on the website Se-REM.com.